Maulbronn Abbey in southwest Germany was founded by Cistercian monks in 1147. It is the best preserved medieval monastery in Europe and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The large open square in the center of the cloister contains buildings used for an infirmary, a cooperage, a refectory, cellars, an inn, a mill, and an auditorium, mostly added in the 13th century. The scale of the buildings can be seen by comparing them to the size of the people walking in the square. When the abbey was founded, the architectural style was Romanesque, as one can see from this early door into the church with its rounded arch, and this door still covered with leather to protect the wood. However, just at this time, the Gothic was arriving from France. Upon entering the church, one can see the earlier arches of the older church gradually updated over time with the pointed arches of the new Gothic style of building. These are the choir stalls which line the choir part of the church and were reserved for the cloistered monks. At the end of this is a partition beyond which the lay brothers worshipped. In its heyday, more than 500 monks and lay brothers lived and worked in this abbey. A more careful look at the church shows how the two styles will work together. The windows high in the clerestory are Romanesque, but the ceiling has been reworked in the Gothic. The older windows in the altar have been gradually replaced with large Gothic windows, and the ceiling as well with a pointed Gothic ceiling. The windows of the side altars, not visible here, are complete with ornate stained glass. This hall is believed to have been used as the chapter house, so named for the chapters of the scripture that would be read out to the monks in the evenings. Although Romanesque, the high ceilings show the taste is already changing toward the relative airiness of Gothic. The lay brothers ate in this huge room from the earlier Romanesque style. The vaulted ceiling and heavy columns are typical of this period. The lay brothers did the heavy work of the monastery and were very well fed. This great hall was used as the refectory for the cloistered monks and shows the gradual development from Romanesque to Gothic. The vertical lines of this room are higher and much more pronounced. But the heart of the monastery was the cloister itself, a quadrangle with a covered walk around the small garden. It gave the monks sheltered access to all parts of the living quarters, the refectory, and the church. In the 16th century, the monastery ceased to be Catholic and became Reform. A school for boys was founded, which is still in existence today as a coeducational school. The cloister still houses rooms used for the school. Living conditions for the time would have been considered comfortable. At this fountain outside the refectory, the monks would pause to wash before entering to eat. Walking through the complex, one can see that the monastery was in fact a complete village with all the artisans and services needed by a small town, including, of course, a fountain. The Cistercians always built their monasteries in a valley. A walkway leads from the abbey proper to the upper part of the abbey lands. From this walkway, you can look down on the former garden area outside the abbey walls. and the walkway also leads past the tennis court used by the school, among whose students was the astronomer Johannes Kepler. Continuing on the walkway, one comes to a major achievement of the monks, a series of lakes hand-dug in the 12th century. The largest lake, originally used to provide water for the monks' needs, is now a public swimming lake. This beautiful monastery continues to be used and treasured by the German people after more than 850 years. Watching the swimmers splash in the water on a hot afternoon, you have to admire the ability of the German people to integrate their past with their present. And you can't help thinking that the monks would have been pleased with their achievement.